the play. He also did play last night, and he had 19 points. He was pretty effective, 9 of 14. Okay, I am hearing myself a couple seconds
No, you're not.
behind. I'm not? Okay. Thank you. Phil? Okay. We are here at Big 12 Media Days, and I'll just hear myself on a loop for the next 5 minutes, I think. We are the Morning Animals.
Broadcast.
There, I fixed it.
Yeah, what just happened?
Pepperwinds.com. This is WWL.
I had the internet potted up, and now you're live.
Oh, okay. I thought you were, like, mocking what I had just said.
They want to get a scalp, they want to win, but it ain't happening still.
That is the perfect way to
Very
end.
humble. The most fun team, this is just too crazy, but it would kind of be fun if Oklahoma City was like Lugansdort, Davis Bertan's salary, a whole bunch of picks. We have so many picks we can't possibly use them. And let's see what we can do with this team.
That's just a great play.
Yeah, Whitmore drawing Johnson on the other end. Oh, Flight School 101. I'll teach you how to stunt.
Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Kimbrell closes it out, and the National League wins it. Elias Diaz with the home run to give the NL the lead, and the National League coming into Seattle and winning the All-Star game for the first time since 2012.
Welcome to your Wednesday, July 12th. We are the Morning Animals, and Zinga Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch. Not a bad day, but a hot day today. We'll top out at about 99. Mostly clear today. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and 98. Currently 75 at the studios of 98.1 FM, WWLS, the Sports Animal. We are live from Arlington for Big 12 Media Days, sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light. And it is time for your McBride Orthopedic Hospital Clinic First Take.
What time is it?
It's the McBride Orthopedic Hospital Clinic First Take, brought to you by McBride Orthopedic Hospital Clinic, Oklahoma's most trusted choice in orthopedic care. McBride is 100% physician-owned and has the best team of physicians in the state. The McBride Orthopedic Hospital Clinic First Take on WWLS, the Sports Animal.
All right, we are here in Arlington at Jerry World for Big 12 Media Days, and one time only, we're going to be talking to 14 teams, and we're making quite the jump. You know, it used to be 12, obviously, and it made sense with the name. We went down to 10 for a while, and now in 1 year, it's 4 new teams, but only for 1 year, obviously, because the big storylines, really, I think the two biggest storylines coming into these 2 days are OU and Texas. How are they received? What's the talk about them moving on? And then, of course, the new 4 teams coming in. So it's kind of a weird mix of teams coming together here in Arlington for these 2 days. But I think some very intriguing storylines. Obviously, Brett Yormark, when he talks to the media later on, it's going to be all about what is next. What is the next move for the Big 12? And are there any hard feelings with OU and Texas? I think they'll be nice about that, but what is the next plan? Is expansion going to happen, and how soon? I think those are the big topics there. And as it relates to the teams coming in, I think it's interesting. Last year we came into this event, nobody was thinking about TCU. TCU had just hired Sonny Dykes. The Gary Patterson era had ended. They were picked 7th in the preseason in the conference, and they ended up playing in the national championship game. Kansas State was one of the darlings. People were talking about them as a possible dark horse team to get to the Big 12 championship game. But a lot of people weren't just going out and saying, yeah, they're going to win. They're not going to make the jump from 8 wins to winning the conference. And they did. They had a great year. So you look at this year's preseason rankings, Oklahoma State, number 7. Nobody's giving them a chance. Well, that's the same position TCU was in a year ago. And I don't think they are capable of making that kind of jump. But I do think they're going to be better than what we saw last year, even with a new quarterback and all the guys they left, because Mike Gundy does have a history of bouncing back after a down year. So I would say that's a possibility. And then I think going into tomorrow's activity, OU, they have been the preseason favorite in this conference like 10 out of the last 11 years. And obviously after a losing season, your expectations change. But I do think there is some real possibility with OU if a couple things go right here and there, just a couple small things. And I could see them getting to that number Spinozzi brought up earlier where they're at 9.5. I could totally see them getting to 9 and 10 games if things break their way. So a lot of intriguing storylines, and we can break them all down for you, but I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, you talk about last year when you guys were sitting there last year, it was Baylor and OU sitting atop the Big 12 Media's preseason poll. They combined to go 12-14 and 7-11 in the conference. So, you just don't know. Listen, I see Texas sitting there. I know the expectations. They were really good on defense last year, bringing back a quarterback. Everything's positive, but the last time they won 10 games was 2009. It's been a minute. Every year it's Texas, but when are you going to actually do it? So I think that 10-win total is easily the expectation in Texas, but I think it's probably the same way for OU fans too. But how much better is that defense going to get? Where are you going to get the offensive production? Oklahoma State, fast start last year, 5-0, and then it just all falls apart. So, no, there are so many intriguing storylines, and that's not even including the new 4 teams that are going to be in the conference, which I think is going to be fun.
Damn right.
My analysis stunned Kerry.
By the way,
no, I'm sorry, I'm having a little issue. No, I don't know. We were used to Texas being overrated in the preseason poll. No matter where they are, they're usually overrated because they don't overachieve. They just don't do that. And I don't know how good Quinn Ewers is going to be. That's the key to a lot of this. And does Steve Sarkisian find himself in hell, basically, because he has a quarterback controversy throughout the season? That, to me, is my biggest question about Texas, because when you get in those situations, it doesn't exactly lead to your team getting better. It just leads to a lot of controversy, a lot of pressure because the outside noise, and a lot of pressure on the coaching staff to be better than they are, because when you have a quarterback controversy, it affects your entire team. So to me, that's Texas's biggest burden this season. With Oklahoma State, I don't know how to feel about, if it's Alan Bowman, I think we all agree we've seen really good spurts from Alan Bowman. We think he's a good quarterback, but this is his third school. And apparently he's on his first wife now, I saw, where he just got engaged.
Well, congratulations.
Very nice.
I will say, from him kneeling, looks very athletic as a kneeler.
So now we're judging kneeling.
Tree chunks for legs.
We've moved on from athletic heads to kneeling ability.
I'm just saying, I judge all aspects of people's athletic ability, and he's a very athletic kneeler.
I'm glad
you're on record with your thoughts of how you evaluate people.
I appreciate a male with strong legs. I do. I'm on record.
Kerry, I'm glad you have the stats in front of you. 3 schools, 1 wife for Alan Bowman.
Yes,
that would have been quite an accomplishment if he matched schools with wives. But
well, he's got time.
Hold on, I'm registering 3schools1wife.com. Okay, I now own that.
No, listen. I'd be impressed if you knew how to buy a domain. Actually,
I think I go to GoDaddy.
I think it's asinine that OSU got a first place vote, but nobody thought TCU could win anything last year. Now they didn't win the conference. They won a playoff game, which is amazing.
To me, with OSU, it's not so much about quarterback. It's, do they have an offensive line and a defensive line?
And a running game that can help him, because Kerry, Texas, I think with Quinn Ewers, even with Bijan Robinson last year, was absolutely mediocre. You look at his numbers, he was
late
average.
In the season he was, for sure.
But Bijan Robinson was the best running back in college football last year, and he had that. And their top 2 running backs are gone.
He also had a really good receiving core, too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he didn't play extremely well, even with having that running game last year. And now let's see what he's like this year without that. and also with people over his shoulder. I mean, he's got every time he has a bad game, every time he has a bad quarter, that fan base is going to be like looking over his shoulder going, yeah, how about that guy? How about that Manning kid?
I think Oklahoma State is fine.
He's not going to be able to avoid it.
I think Oklahoma State's fine at running back, but I agree. It's about the offensive line. Like I'm a big Ollie Gordon guy. I think they lose Richardson to Baylor. I think they'll be fine there. But they've recruited well, the Nixon kid. I think they'll be fine at running back. But the key is, and I know T-Bag is tired of figuring out the offensive line is going to block for anybody, but that is definitely going to be the key. And even though they lost all those receivers, they've lost a ton of guys. They still have guys that can catch the ball.
That's a really good receiving core. That's a really good group.
First Take, sponsored by McBride Orthopedic Hospital Clinic, Oklahoma's most trusted choice in orthopedic care.
Thanks to, a lot of things. Phil, our sponsors, doing a great hookup for us here, getting us down here to Arlington. And we're going to be covering everything happening today and tomorrow between our show and Mark Rogers and Cale Gundy will be here. That's going to be fun to watch. And thanks to our sponsors, Phil.
Yes, Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light. Also want to let everyone know we are streaming video live on both Facebook and YouTube. So just go to the Sports Animal Facebook page or the Sports Animal YouTube page, and you too can follow along with Curtis's
and the
fine
app.
looks.
And the app.
Yes, and the app.
You can get us on the app. Yeah, you can see what 12 Things the Beard has put us all to shame, although people have noted on Twitter when we posted the picture that he needs a different shirt size because his is popping out. His muscles are popping out his buttons, so he needs to go to a medium. He's wearing a small right now.
He's a good-looking guy. He should put the jacket on when he's on video because he looks like $1,000,000. He really does. He looks like, and he's got the shades on. Looks like a skinnier, taller version of Pitbull.
He should introduce himself as Brigham Young's athletic director because nobody will know any better.
He's the skinnier. What version of Pitbull?
He's the skinnier, taller version of Pitbull.
Wider version.
Much wider.
He's Beard Bull.
Yeah, Beard.
By the way, Carrie, you'll be happy to know, or maybe you won't be, that I am finally getting my thank you note from Brett Yormark. My email hadn't been, I'm using a laptop I haven't used in a while, so I hadn't updated it. And now I'm getting all of those messages.
Oh, I was hoping it was handwritten. We are the
Carrie
morning
got
animal.
that one. I'm sorry.
We are the Morning Animals. This is 98.1 FM WWLS, the Sports Animal, live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
Let's brew some beer.
We grow the barley that makes your beer.
I grow the rice.
I grow the hops.
I make the steam. No steam, no beer.
We make the cans. I bottle the beer. I label the beer.
I'll pack the beer. I deliver the beer.
I drop off the beer.
I serve the beer.
We are the Morning Animals. Nzinga, Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch. We are live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas, where Curtis is holding court. We will be there for the next couple of days. Curtis, set the scene.
Oh, I can see Curtis.
I know. I put Curtis on the big screen.
You can see me, but I cannot see anything right now because I'm sitting on the goal line of Jerry World, and the sun.
I can
is
see the
shining
sun
right in my face. It just happened during the break.
If you wanna follow along, you can follow on the Sports Animal app and see live video of Curtis. You can also follow on the Sports Animal on Facebook and our YouTube page.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get a scroll of the setting here. I don't know. Like, it's just me in a blue shirt right now, but eventually, we'll have players and coaches coming through, and Mark and Kay will be here later on today. And thanks to our sponsors, Phil. Obviously, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and our friends at Bud Light.
Yeah, I did see a lot of BYU stuff. We've talked about this before. They have their own network, and it's big, and they have a lot of people that work for that network. And I'll flip through and it'll land on my DirecTV, and for some stupid reason, I'll sit there and watch their breakdown of the BYU volleyball team. I'm like, they are that dedicated to their school. Like, they are passionate about their sports. There's one team, one school that is coming into the league that clearly fits a culture of passion. It would be BYU, because they do care. You can see arguments against some teams, bringing them into big conferences. BYU is the team that you argue for because they have a huge following.
Well, I mean, they're just kind of like, on a Power 5 level, even though they haven't been in one of the conferences right now. They just, that just didn't work out. But as far as just a fan base that's football fanatical coming in, I can't see anybody having a crazier fan base than UCF. I mean, they are fired up about some football down there.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Chihuahuas of fans of college football.
Okay, you got a little explanation.
Yeah, well, it's the little dog barking at big dogs. I mean,
yes.
You know the famous thing where there's a tiny Chihuahua looking up at a big dog and it says "bleep you." That's
they
who
demanded
UCF
to be
is.
recognized as national champions.
Right.
That's kind of where it all started.
Well, they're
known
to be
claim
very. It, Carey. Do they still?
Yeah.
They advertise that.
They demand to have a seat at the table. That's the best way to probably describe.
They've earned it, though, don't you think? I mean, they've done everything they could, played everybody who is willing to play them.
No, they haven't earned anything.
So you think this year is their opportunity to earn it?
I think I would put them. Yeah. Hey, Carey, I would put. There are a lot of teams that are in the table or at the table that don't deserve seats at the table. So
we're talking about some yesterday.
Texas is one of them.
Northwestern.
Northwestern, like most of the
belong.
Big Ten. Like, if you could take about 6 Big Ten teams and say, all right, those teams deserve
Rutgers.
it. The rest do not.
But it is interesting, though. I mean, that Scott Frost was kind of one of the builders of that, and it's proven that he's not really a good coach. Like, is UCF just coach-proof? Like, they have to have a great coach to be good, or are they just stuck in an area of the country where they're going to get good players?
I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, Heupel did a good job. Scott Frost was awesome there, but a lot
terrible
of
at Nebraska.
Yeah, terrible at Nebraska, but he was great there.
Or as a coach, is it easy to get them to be really good against the conference that you were playing against? But once those guys go other places, but then again, Josh Heupel's moved someplace else and had great success. But Gus Malzahn can coach his ass off. So I just think they have one of the best 3 quarterbacks in the conference this year who can make your life a living hell. So I can't wait to see them play, and I can't wait to see the other teams compete against them.
John Reese Plumlee, isn't he on his third? Is he a third school guy?
I think he was at Ole Miss, or was he at LSU? I can't remember.
He was at Ole Miss. Was he somewhere else before? Should probably.
I think he was just at Ole Miss.
Okay, Ole Miss. But no, he's solid. Texas Tech seems to be the darling of. If there's one team that I've seen mentioned as a dark horse, hey, could come out of nowhere kind of team, and they got 4 first-place votes, I think. Maybe it's Texas Tech. They have a lot of guys returning. Joey McGuire's done a really good job. Shuck, their quarterback. We'll see.
He's got to get a lot better.
Tech. Yeah, he's so up and down.
He was 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he was 5-0. Look, they won all the games he started. He was 5-0.
They went through
so
a
that
few
tells you something.
quarterbacks because of injury.
Yeah,
but they didn't really have a starter. Like it was just like, okay, who are we going to play this series? And he was the one guy that was healthy most of last year.
It's amazing.
I'm not buying Tech. I can't.
They were so awful on defense. I mean, they were so epically horrible on defense last year. I mean,
they're the only team that makes Oklahoma look like they actually have a defense at times.
Yeah, that's when
Here's the thing, though. I would say this, and I'm not all in on Tech either, but I'm not going to beat the drum for any team right now. Like, there's nobody I'm like standing on top of this table saying this is the team in the conference this year. So you can say you're not going to buy some team, but I am not going to buy any other team. Like, I might not buy, but I'm not making any sense right now, but I'm not putting my money down on any team. And
well, the one team that we're just ignoring, it's because of who they lost, but it's TCU. But Sonny Dykes has proven he could build a team through the transfer portal.
Hey,
but he has to rebuild it completely, though. He lost. I mean, so much from that team last year.
But he did it last year.
But I think Chandler Morris is a capable quarterback, and nobody sat around and said that Max Duggan was going to be the key to a championship run last year.
No one saw that.
Chandler Morris was the starter.
Yes.
Until he got hurt. I mean, Max Duggan was the backup. So, yeah, you think they feel pretty good about Chandler Morris.
They have 3 players coming back on offense. And obviously their quarterback, their receiver, and their running back are gone. And they were all really, really good.
Had quite a few good receivers, though. I mean, I know
they've hit
Johnson
the portal.
notably got all the hub and stuff.
But they have most of their defense, though. I mean,
I'm just saying, compared to Tech, I mean, I believe in TCU more than I do them.
Oh, sure, because they already did it. They already showed you they can.
Well, and they're TCU getting not a lot of love. Obviously, being 5th in the preseason after playing in the national championship game. I know we've talked about they've lost players, but it seems like you would bet on them just out of respect, because Sonny Dykes, I mean, that guy's a hell of a coach. And you're right, Kerry. They've done a really good job in the portal. They got a few more Alabama guys coming in
for that to happen.
What do you guys think about a Baylor bounce back this year? Because I was taking a peek at something before the show. Since Dave Aranda's been there, they went 2-7. Then they had that great 12-2 season. Then they regressed to 6-7 last year. Which one of those teams? Which one of those programs are they? I mean, does he make a jump back this year, or are they much more likely to be a middle of the road team?
Blake Shapen, I thought was a disappointment last year at quarterback, but he's back.
Yeah,
I don't know if
tell
I'm
him that
sold
today.
on him.
Or see tomorrow.
I mean, there's a bunch of quarterbacks in this league. You just don't know if they're going to be better. I mean, Texas Tech's got one of those quarterbacks. Baylor's got one of those quarterbacks. I mean, Texas has one of those quarterbacks right now. I mean, how good is the quarterback play going to be at those 3 schools, which is going to determine everything for them?
So far, also, nobody has accosted anybody that I can see with beef jerky. Nobody's
bummer.
Yeah, no, I mean, the signs are here. I mean, they've got the old Trapper sponsorship logo, but seems like pretty subdued. They don't have any propaganda videos running. They got the signage up, but yeah, seems like it's just business as usual.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, they're doing it differently this year. Like, it all starts after noon. So it's like, I think they're trying to account for people that don't want to stay like 2 nights.
No, I mean, they have people coming in at 9 o'clock. It's just they do certain
No,
things
but I mean, the
noon.
first press conference today is at noon.
The first big press conference. But all the on-field interviews will happen in the morning, and then they'll do that stuff later. But
I think you need to check your schedule.
I'm looking at the schedule right now.
I like this. The first schedule argument.
We love arguing about schedules.
Curtis, did somebody step in front of you to provide a human shield, like an eclipse in front of you? Because you had the sun in your face, and now it appears as though you're shaded.
It's doing weird things. The sun, it's Spinozzi. I'm not up on science, but the sun is going in and out. That's all I can tell you.
We can't control the sun anymore. That's what I've read.
And we actually see the schedule is now on the broadcast.
The stream where they're showing the schedule up on the stream.
Right.
So help yourself. If you go to the Sports Animal Facebook page or the Sports Animal YouTube page or even the Sports Animal app, you can see the TV ready Curtis Fitzpatrick in beautiful color.
So I got TCU coming in at 10 a.m., Houston at 10 a.m., Kansas at 10 a.m. The press conference schedule is different than the breakout schedule and all the Radio Row stuff. By the way, we were talking last night about next year and the Big 12 and the SEC Media Days, and Phil's already been angling to go, even though he just craps on all of our coverage anyway. But you're angling for free trips to Nashville or New Orleans in the future, wherever they go. It does mean a little bit more. Carrie, do you realize we learned at the SEC Media Days to get on Radio Row? It's like you're paying like $700 to $1,000 just to get a seat.
Really?
To put up to get in the building, to get a seat on Radio Row, you gotta buy in.
They charge radio stations to cover them.
Yes, because it's prime location. Like, it's different with, and this is kind of inside baseball, but TV stations, you go and you set up tripods at press conferences, or you do some one-on-ones, and you do your stand-ups, you do live shots, whatever. And then print and online and sites like Carrie. I mean, you're working. I mean, you're writing stories, and then you cross over, do video and stuff like that. But to get a seat at Radio Row, which is where everybody comes in and you interview the players and coaches as they come in, with the SEC, you got to buy into that space. And they
Big 12 is free?
They sell it. Oh, yeah. Big 12.
No, Big 12 this year is paying Curtis.
Yeah, right.
We are the
Gary
Morning
didn't
Animals.
need the money.
We are live from Big 12 Media Days. Thank you, Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and our friends at Bud Light. They are our awesome sponsors. Hey, coming up next, Curtis, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially if you go viral. And it's happened more than once to more than one person. We've got a lot of stuff that happened in Vegas over the weekend that's now just coming out. We are the Morning Animals. This is 98.1 FM, WWLS, the Sports Animal.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
National League's finally back on top. Its first All-Star Game win since 2012.
Well, the National League All-Stars beat the American League All-Stars 3-2, and now they can pump their chests and brag about finally breaking through. Elias Diaz, the MVP, hit the big home run. Colorado Rockies catcher winning the Most Valuable Player award. The Summer League continues tonight for the Thunder. They'll play Indiana. They lost last night. Looks like Chet Holmgren and some of the other players are going to play tonight that didn't play last night, although Trey Mann has been shut down. Keontae Johnson did play last night, the second-round pick for the Thunder, and he ended up with 19 points, had a nice night. Cason Wallace did not have a good day for the Thunder, 2 of 12 shooting. It is 7:39 here at Big 12 Media Days in Arlington.
25 years of the sports animal. Thanks to all of the local businesses for their continued support.
This is Eric G. from 97.1, the sports animal in Tulsa. A proud WW.
Don't ask me why this is playing. I have no clue.
On this 20.
So just give me a second.
The update. That seems out of order.
Yeah, so I'm just, don't worry, I'm good.
OKC when it comes to sports talk radio, and that definitely is you. Happy 25th, WWLS.
Celebrating 25 years. 98.1 FM, WWLS, The Sports Animal, thesportsanimal.com, and the Sports Animal app.
We are the Morning Animals in Zinga, Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch.
Hells yes.
Live from Big 12 Media Days, sponsored by our friends at Bud Light, Fire Lake Casino, and Grand Casino. And before we get to this story out of Las Vegas, Spinozzi, you got us a birthday?
I do indeed, so I'll bring back Elvis in just a second.
That's right, because it's my birthday, my birthday.
I want to say a very happy belated birthday because it was on my phone yesterday, but I didn't look at my phone till the end of the show, to Jamma West, who I understand listens to us all day, every day when we're on. We appreciate you very much. So happy birthday from all your friends, including your friend Judy McHogan. Happy birthday.
And now back to Las Vegas, which you'll be going to.
Yes, I'll
to
be there.
Enjoy Summer League action.
7:30 tomorrow night. I will be at Friday's game.
Good for you.
I don't know if you'll see anybody playing that you would want to play. Like Tanner Groves maybe getting some time then. That might be his finally his time to shine.
I'm thinking the two guys who played last night will definitely be on the floor throughout the rest of Summer League, but anybody else, yeah, it's anybody's guess.
Yesterday, a video went viral of somebody throwing something out of a room at Caesar's Palace.
Somebody was going through some things.
And that was a serious deal, right? Like I when I saw that at first, people were like, "Why are they shutting down every pool around Caesar's Palace?" And well, that made sense because things were flying into the pool from rooms.
Vegas does not mess around these days when someone breaks a window up high. I mean, after they had that horrible shooting.
Right.
So they take this stuff rather seriously. Turns out it was a standoff. Wasn't some dude was going to barricade himself in the room with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
And, it ended peacefully.
He wound up snatching somebody into the room out of the hall, just pulled somebody in.
So it ended peacefully. But before that, on Sunday, a 35-year-old guy from Long Island was at a casino in Vegas and probably was partying just a little too hard. His name, and when you know his name, you know that he was Brian Denzulik.
Wait, okay, are you stereotyping?
All the Denzuliks, you know them.
I'm sorry, Danulzik. Brian Danulzik. Around 11:20 p.m., cops got a report about a fight at the Flamingo Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That still exists?
Oh, man, I've stayed at the Flamingo many times with
How
my
long
buddy
ago?
Lou. When's the last time 7 years ago, maybe 6 years ago? It's still there.
Great place for a brawl, the Flamingo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, old Brian was at the Flamingo and fighting a one-legged man for no reason whatsoever. He just saw a dude with one leg and he went on the attack.
Don't get involved with a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Finally, someone pulled him off. That's when he decided now is a good time for me, Brian, to get naked and start streaking the Flamingo.
Now that the fight's over, I mean, you got all that energy, got all those endorphins flowing. Time to take the clothes off.
He ran at an unbelievable pace through the Flamingo, out the door, went to the next casino over, which I believe is O'Shea's.
Oh, wow. Out the door of one casino and into the other.
Yeah.
How about everybody on the street that got to see him go flying by?
Police showed up at the Flamingo only to realize he had made his way next door. He was still...
It's got to be a special concoction of, like, meth, crack, and bath salts.
And
alcohol.
And something that causes lots and lots and lots of energy and bad decisions.
So after... This is like the Northwestern team. I mean, this guy loves his nudity. So... He's naked. He's now in the next casino. They tried to arrest him, but as you could imagine, at this point, he's very sweaty. He's been running around.
Yeah, police officers really don't want to grab and hold on to naked people, especially naked, sweaty people.
Is this the same thing that I saw on the internet where a guy is attacking a lady in a scooter?
Was he naked?
Not at that point.
No, then it's not our guy.
No, Brian was naked in the first casino.
The very first thing he did after he beat up the one-legged man is he took his clothes off, as one does.
In celebration. Then when you win, that's what you do.
So now he's at his second casino. They tried to arrest him, but like I said, very sweaty. And greasy, apparently. They couldn't get him.
Right. Nobody could get hold on him.
This time,
imagine the oil slick if he made his way over to the Venetian and jumped in the.
He ran from, I'm going to say it was O'Shea's, because that's a casino in between these two, I believe.
And they're not really close together, as you know, because like each hotel takes up a city block.
Yes.
And so the next one over, I mean, it's a pretty good haul. So he's got a lot of energy.
Now, Spinozzi, wouldn't you say Vegas is very much a mirage city? Like,
they make you think it's closer than it is.
When you point up the street and go, Caesars is right there. And the person you're with is like, no, that's a full 3.5 miles.
Right.
They build it like that on purpose. Yeah. So now he makes his way over to Harrah's. That's right. Third casino.
And there are a lot of things like outside of Harrah's, like it's kind of like a sidewalky.
You had to take a minute to get in there.
Because
you're right. There's that whole carousel area where they have the live bands and stuff. So,
he must be in wonderful shape, or that meth is amazing.
Well, I saw the video. He's just a dude. He's just a guy. I don't know how he did it. Yeah.
Nothing special about him, Phil.
He's got good cardio.
So now he's in the third casino, and that's when he decides, you know what? This is my swan song. This is my command performance. He runs through the place once again, no clothes on, jumps up onto a blackjack table,
as you do,
and begins dancing. Now TMZ has video of the whole thing. At one point, he lays down on his back.
Oh man, we're gonna have to refelt that table.
And he does a Mike Honcho. Showing everyone the chocolate starfish.
Oh, wow.
This is real.
He spread his butt cheek.
Yes.
Ricky Bobby. Let's spread my butt cheek.
He did.
He's had quite an evening, I'm saying.
But credit to Harrah's security. They got him off the table because that's when things get serious. Now you're messing with people's money.
They immediately switched tables out, brought one from the back out there.
Sure
That's Mike Honcho. Juice is all over it.
Now,
this guy's lucky he did it when he did, because if he did that back in the 70s, his head would be in a vice.
Right.
Police say he appeared to be in an altered mental state.
Did they finally stop him with a...
No, they tackled him. There was security. It wasn't the police. It was security at Harrah's.
Did he end up in the trunk of a car somewhere?
No. The police say he has no recollection of any of this.
Sure he doesn't, right.
It is the hangover. It's the story of the hangover.
It makes me really curious. What is police procedure there when you arrest someone who is naked? Like, do you have spare clothes at the jail?
They have blankets.
Yeah, I think they probably blanket.
I'm sure it's not the first rodeo for that type of arrest, Kerry.
It is Las Vegas.
I'm picturing Leslie Chow escaping from a trunk and just running across the parking lot naked. Hey, there's another naked guy got out of a trunk.
And didn't you say, Phil, there are some fallout from the sphere that's happening? Like major
people are going crazy.
Happening?
People are losing their minds because now the sphere is showing like smaller spheres inside the sphere. It's hard to explain because
Sphere
it's
within a
3D.
sphere?
And
It's like a Pink Floyd show as you drive by.
It's messing people's minds up, man.
So they don't have the basketball up anymore. They're doing
No, well, they do. They just rotate stuff.
It just changes.
Yeah, the sphere's messing people up, man, especially when you're in an altered state in Vegas.
It's not going away.
No, it'll be there for, well, at least till they tear it down for the next thing, because that's Vegas.
Well, I can only hope I see somebody naked running from casino to casino while I'm there.
Maybe the sphere will just start attracting meth head crazy naked people, and
Like
they'll all
moths?
just be stuck on it. Yeah,
Carrie, I'm telling you something. On Fremont Street, at a certain point,
Gotta wrap.
they put out either box lunches or they supply meth to the meth heads, and then the first DJ who starts playing, it is night of the living dead. The meth heads, they gather. I kid you not, they gather and they begin dancing. There was a guy in a suit with
Is it
no,
like the
no
Thriller
shirt
video?
underneath, suit jacket, tie, no shirt, pants, one shoe, and he was busting a move. And he was going and getting girls out of the crowd to come dance with him. Quite a show.
We are the Morning Animals, live from Big 12 Media Days at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, sponsored by Bud Light, Grand Casino, and Fire Lake Casino on 98.1 FM, WWLS, the sports animal.
This room.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch, live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and the good folks at Bud Light.
By the way, Phil, you would I'm just sitting here watching Curtis ignore us. You would love Big 12 Media Days because they actually are having brunch today before they do anything else.
Oh, a brunch. Who doesn't love a brunch, Phil?
Damn it. Are you for real?
I don't think it's for Phil, though, if he were here. It's not for me, or is it?
It is.
It's a brunch.
You need to find a good schedule, Curtis.
I've got a schedule right in front of me, right here.
I don't think it's the right one.
We've had schedule.
Is this
Hold
last
up to the camera, Curtis.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hold
There's
it up to
only
the camera.
Kerry. There's only 10 teams. Is that weird? Am I looking at the wrong year?
Curtis, would that text say that you're showing someone?
It's from, hey, what happens in Arlington stays in Arlington, Teabag.
Doing a little streaking later on.
I just want to make Curtis really self-conscious about himself on camera since he's the only one and we can just pick at him.
Yeah, oh, you think I mean, I literally been on TV for 20 years. I don't think I worry about that, Kerry. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's an old hand.
It's not.
Although your
deal.
nipples are popping out of that shirt like crazy, man. Is it cold in there?
I mean, it's
See,
feels
they're
fine.
showing the schedule that I have in front of me right now on the YouTube channel.
I
We are
refuse,
streaming-
Kerry. I refuse to give you any acknowledgement. So
We are
even if you
streaming
were
on-
right, I'm not going to acknowledge that.
We're streaming on both YouTube and Facebook and the app.
Okay,
the Sports
there,
Animal app.
I stand. There is a brunch. Yes, I'm looking at it's 11 a.m., but I don't know if that's for all of us.
Is there a menu?
You know,
You knew that question was coming. You knew it was coming.
Can you smell what it might be, Curtis?
There better be. If it's a brunch, that means there has to be a lunch feature on the breakfast.
If Phil leaves now, he could make it there.
Is
By
Brett
11.
Yormark serving the brunch? Is he behind?
If this
the
is
counter?
buffet style, I'm not going to say
It's
a brunch.
buffet style. You know how it is, Phil. We're at Jerry World. I mean, they're not going to take us to a restaurant. And yeah, they've already got. I told you earlier at 5 o'clock they were setting up, and now this all makes sense because Kerry made sense of it. But they were setting up the trays at 5 o'clock when we were here, so that made sense that the food would be out early.
No, but we were talking about earlier. I like the way they've set it up because, you know, if you don't want to go to the press conferences, like the big Deus press conferences where they're on there for 15 minutes and 10 of it is them talking about, you know, how excited they are for the season and how what a great spring they had and they're poised for big things and all this. And then, you know, they go out and have their seasons that they usually have. But like, I think 4 o'clock is when the breakouts happen, which is where the good stuff comes in. So like you can show up this year. You can just drive to Dallas if you're in the area and then stay in a hotel tonight and then come back in the morning for the next round.
I think that's what our friend Cale Gundy is doing. He is. It's going to be interesting watching him on this side of the microphone. You know, when like I don't know, Mike Gundy rolls around, or tomorrow when Brent Venables rolls around.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Yep. And hey, Cale, they had a great show the other day. They had on. Oh, was it Shane Beamer? I think it's Shane Beamer on. It sounded great. So yeah, it's been fun listening to Cale tell stories about and talk about just things that he noticed as a coach when it relates to football.
Did Cale welcome him as the next head coach at the University of Oklahoma?
I mean, you can take up your business with Cale, Kerry.
What?
You can drive down here and ask him things.
Well, Shane, since you
We're
haven't
having
fired
fun.
me,
Come
I'd
on.
totally work for you if you show up and you take over the program after Brent fails again.
Oh God.
No, I got to
See,
tell you guys, I had like the all-time best interaction with the listener this week.
Really?
Did you make love?
Heavy petting at the very least.
Why don't you just pull the rug out from under me,
yeah,
Phil?
Phil,
Like, just
you
go
know,
to the.
hey, my kids are watching the stream right now. They do not want to hear you.
They didn't see Kerry making love on the stream. Don't worry.
Right. Because that would be on his OnlyFans page.
By the way, we need more 2 boxes with 12 things the beard. I want to see more 12 things of the
Yeah,
beard. on
he's
this
so
broadcast.
much more handsome than
His shirt is, I mean, that
I know,
shirt
he's
is
popping
nice.
out, man. He's
Very,
well,
very tight fitting.
right now. He's rolling the production because Cisco he left. I think he's tired of us already.
He went right back to his room. He's like, screw this.
Yeah.
Camera's up. Hit play. You know what to do.
I mean, he's very well dressed. I'm not gonna. I mean, I roll in with a T-shirt it's the same damn T-shirt I've worn for 10 years here because we don't provide. We don't update our attire. We don't have the money to. So I wear the same shirt every year. It's my tradition.
Nobody cares about your shirt. I want to hear about Carrie's interaction with the listener.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Just
that.
how sweet was the love being made?
And what did she do?
So I was sitting in the office and
minding my own business when a pizza girl delivered me a pizza.
God,
that's how every Penthouse Forum story
taken
starts.
A heartwarming story and just turned it into.
I didn't have enough money to tip it. I said, "Listen, I have another option."
So
tabletops in here.
Did you order extra sausage?
So a guy.
Please continue.
So a guy comes in an Amazon driver comes in to deliver something, and he's looking at the package and he's looking at me. And usually when that happens, the first question is, because we're right below the Sooner Club, it's like, is this the Sooner Club? And so I was expecting that answer or that question. And so the guy looks at the package, he looks at me, and I'm like sitting there like, okay, what's your question? Or give me my package, one of the two things. And he's like, are you Carrie? And I'm like, yes. And this guy was a massive Morning Animal listener and told me how he listens to us every morning, doesn't miss a minute of the show while he's driving around.
Right.
And you know how most people, you expect, like, can I get a selfie or something like that?
Uh-huh.
That's in this day and age, it's like, yeah, sure. Let's get a selfie. All this man wanted was a hug.
Oh,
he wanted a hug from me.
You're feeding into Phil's mind here.
No way he wanted a hug.
No, he
didn't want to stop.
I was totally taken off guard. I was like, yeah, you can have a hug, man. Let's hug it up.
We're running late, and it's the only time ever I feel like it's worth being late.
Yes.
To hear this story.
He just wanted a hug from Carrie Murdoch of the Morning Animal.
That is a sweet. Hey,
the most lovable man on earth.
He was young. He wasn't some old man. He was a young black man.
Oh, why is he
my
got to be black?
testicles go up into my body?
Why is he got to be black, Carrie?
Well, because he was.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, he could have just been a man.
Grab me at all. I'm giving you the details.
I mean, what's his name? I'm going to say hi.
I forgot to ask his name.
Oh, bastard!
We shared
I
that
feel
sweet
terrible
embrace.
about it.
I
feel
hate when
terrible, but I was so taken aback by a man wanting a hug as a way to say thank you.
That really was the sweetest story, and Phil, you had to ruin it.
No, it was wonderful.
Basically, just sitting in a room while people banged and drilled and whacked things.
We are the Morning Animals. This is 98.1 FM.
I'm used to doing it to myself. Demonetized on YouTube after this. I think.
Well, we appreciate the listener.
That's beautiful.
Popping by. Oh,
no, he didn't grab me at all.
No, he did. He grabbed you. He embraced you.
Did you get the Shrek clap from him?
Did he smell nice?
There you go. Drop the
Jeff
mic
did the
on
run.
that one. That's.
We are the
They
Morning
went to the
Animals.
car wash afterwards.
More on Carrie's mysterious lover next on 98.1 FM WWLS, the Sports Animal, live from Big 12 Media Days.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
Let's brew some beer.
We grow the barley that makes your beer.
I grow the rice.
I grow the hops.
I make the steam. No steam, no beer.
We make the cans.
I bottle the beer. I label the beer.
I'll pack the beer. I deliver the beer.
I drop off the beer.
I serve the beer.
All right, the National League wins the All-Star game in baseball yesterday in Seattle, 3-2. Elias Diaz, the MVP from the Colorado Rockies, hit the big home run late. First time since 2012 the National League has won that event. The Thunder will play Summer League action today again against Indiana. Yesterday they played the Rockets. They lost 105-92. Didn't play a lot of the normal guys. Trey Mann has been shut down. J-Dub has been shut down. Jay Will did not play. Chet Holmgren did not play. We did see Kason Wallace, the Thunder first-round pick, play. He did not play well. 2 of 12. Much better the first game. 2 of 12 shooting. 1 of 8 from 3. But Keontae Johnson, the second-round pick out of Kansas State, had 19 points. He looked really good yesterday. Again, the Thunder play later on today. We're here in Arlington at Big 12 Media Day at Jerry World, day number 1. We are the Morning Animals.
Broadcasting sponsored by Parrish Devon Injury Lawyer. Visit pepperwinds.com. This is WWLS-FM, The Village, Oklahoma City, your home of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the sports animal, a Cumulus station.
Welcome to your Wednesday, July 12th. We are the Morning Animals in Zinga, Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Carrie Murdoch.
My anus is not hurt. My anus is thriving, all right?
Thank you, Carrie. We are live from Big 12 Media Days.
Tell me that was on tape. Right?
It's hard to say, Curtis.
You don't know where the tape ends and the live begins?
I have no clue anymore. We are live from Big 12 Media Day, sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light. We're also streaming on YouTube and our Facebook page at the Sports Animal.
And the
also
app
on the
and
app.
Twitter. Also,
Yeah.
I've been told Twitter is...
we are all up in you.
Curtis is looking very American today. Got his flag hat on, looking good down in Arlington.
I am. I feel patriotic today. I have no idea why the Big 12 and football would make me feel patriotic, but I do.
Get your motor revved up. We're having some interesting comments on the Trade Pros Heat and Air Text Nation line.
Sure we are.
Where's our... Here we go.
Anytime something wrong, you need to go and call Trade Pros. Ooh. Ain't much to say, bro. Call Trade Pros. Ooh. Get yourself comfortable.
Good morning, bros and Trade Pros.
Me and this guy had the exact same thought. Great minds think alike. Someone said, "I bet Carrie Shrek clapped at him."
Oh, we're talking. Okay, so if you don't know what happened, Carrie had a beautiful interaction with a listener,
an Amazon driver.
Yeah, at the Sooner Scoop offices.
Can we get his name, please? We needs.
We don't know his name.
He needs.
I was just so shocked by the request for a hug. And I always do that. I'm like, "Hey, what's your name? I'll give you a shout out tomorrow." But like he was like, when he walked out the door, I think he was. I don't know if he was in training or if he had another driver with him, but he just started screaming. Like screams of joy.
I hug Kerry Murdoch.
That's exactly what
Murdoch.
That's pretty much what happened.
I've been saying it on the air for years, Kerry, that whenever you see us out and about, please come up and say hi. But I always say, in addition, please give Kerry a hug if you see him.
So the guy says, the guy says, "Are you Kerry?" And you say yes, and then he says, "Can I have a hug?" And you say,
"Well," he says, "Hey, I listen to you guys every morning. I love your show. He said I don't miss a show.
I love that."
And then he said, "Can I get a hug?" And I was like, "What? Sure."
How long did the hug last?
Well, I was asked that by my friends.
Was it just one of those lean in? Was it a lean in shoulder bro hug, or was there a full embrace?
Or did he put his
head
down?
Full embrace. Yeah, it was. The guy asked for a hug. I'm going to give him a hug. I'm not gonna half-ass it.
I love that.
Like,
now you know this.
Did you go in with the side, or were you all like front
chest?
hug?
No, chest.
It was chest to chest.
And,
yeah,
and
it was
stuff
chest
to
to
stuff.
chest.
Okay.
I don't know about the stuff. I think I did the
little bit of butt, little bit of butt out.
Tilt.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was going to say, did it feel like he had a salami in his pocket?
Phil, for that sports animal taser.
I'm telling you, the BYU folks
like a
are
shot
here.
caller for him.
Phil,
Yes.
the BYU folks are here. You need to watch your mouth.
You're in a world of sin now, Mormons.
Listen, they might not be doing the sinning, but they're sin adjacent. They've seen stuff.
Right. And plus, they sin with multiple wives.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Carrie's just hugging one dude.
This. Yeah, they're gonna be very sin adjacent.
Well,
in this conference.
So anyway, you get the hug. That's beautiful. And then
a number or anything?
No. Didn't ask for
And
one.
he made his quick escape, leaving you behind, just
Carrie,
like so many others.
I so didn't see this coming. I mean, I swear to God.
He's a hug whore, is what he is. Probably every office he goes in, he goes, "Can I get a hug?"
Oh man, I bet. What if Carrie's all out of hugs now?
I'm all out of hugs.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a wonderful story.
It's a beautiful story. Anything else from the Trade Pros Heat and Air Technician?
Oh,
line?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
The YouTube comments are coming in as well. I'm checking those out.
27-year-old Mexican here, also mailman, better than Amazon. I too would love a hug from Murdoch. From our friend Tech Fan.
There you
Aw.
go. There you go.
Tech Fan also said if Murdoch is against the majority, then the minorities are for Murdoch.
Oh my God! Please
Minorities
stop it
for
with that.
Murdoch.
Hey, I like this movement we've got going. All the minorities are rising up, and they're all going to go give Carrie a hug. It's like their thing.
They're like, as soon as they find out he's handing out free
I don't
hugs,
even remember what that discussion was at this point, and I can't even defend the minorities comment. I mean, I know we were not talking about race. We were talking about people who were in the majority or the minority of something.
You called him a black man. I'm sorry.
Someone
I just wanted to paint a picture. I'm sorry,
And
Curtis.
now a Hispanic man wants to hug
Which,
you.
hey, I'm all for. I love it. I love the diversity.
I
of
love the
show.
mailmen, by the way.
Well, you,
Not physically, but
if you would find us an Indian guy and a Chinese guy, to hug Carrie, we'll have them all covered.
Be like an old
Native
Benetton
American,
commercial.
all right?
Yeah, Native American or Asian.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I got my Native American card, Carrie. If
I
you
meant-
want me to come give you a hug later.
I meant the country of India when I said Indian person.
Okay, well that makes sense. We are getting a hard throat slash from Cisco. Stop talking about this right now.
Well, it's what you get when you send us on the road, man.
What? The man gets hugs.
Well, I think it's the other topic that we're getting into.
All right, so go on.
There's some good ones coming in. Someone wants to know if you guys touched lips.
Well, I don't think nobody thinks.
No, there was
that.
not inferred in
Okay.
any way. It was a
No.
hug. There was
but
someone said
after I told the story yesterday to my text group, Jared sent me lots of gifts from what's the stupid movie Brokeback Mountain?
Oh, there you
where
go.
there's one
See,
really
that-
good one
Jared-
where Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger hug, and Jake Gyllenhaal goes in for a kiss, but then he realizes they're in public, so he doesn't do it.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
See, this
Exactly.
this has made an unnecessary turn.
So go on.
Mhm.
Oh, it's been unnecessary from the beginning, Phil.
Since Phil played the music.
these are irrelevant, but some people are asking Curtis what he's doing whenever he does stuff.
What is he doing when he does stuff? That's the question.
taking pictures and
Such as.
moving around.
What do I do? when I-
Anywho.
Like, how does he interact with fans? Is that
No,
what they're
like
asking?
from the live stream.
Trust me, there's no hugging Curtis.
Someone said I would give Carrie a hug and slightly whisper in his ear.
Thank you for supporting minorities.
was that a female or a male?
Was it a lady?
Yeah, because then we got another story.
Oh my god. Is that it? Nope. Don't read it if it's questionable.
Now read it for by all means. Read it.
Cisco's 3 feet from Curtis.
Well, he'll just
Yeah,
tackle
but
Curtis,
driver-
not us.
The driver thought a hug would cure Carrie's hatred of puppies and children.
Look, I don't hate puppies. I love puppies.
But he does
I
not
only
like your
hate
children.
I only hate children who people prop up to be good singers when they're not,
All right.
and give them a stage like the national anthem
Okay.
to ruin people's eardrums.
Did that happen recently? I'm trying to remember.
Carrie should start a hugging booth, raise money for a special cause.
There you go.
What special cause?
NIL.
I don't think that's going to cure any NIL issues that you may or may not have.
Excellent idea.
The Carrie Murdoch
Hey,
hugging booth.
he's been
Next
trying-
time Traber does that carnival food thing,
There you go.
we got a Carrie Murdoch hugging booth.
He's been trying to give away this NIL money. He's been very open about that. So people are coming up with creative ideas.
Still just sitting in the bank. Yep.
He'd give you money to hug him, but then that turns into something completely different.
My hug would linger.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants hugs from you, hippie.
That's terrible. I am really a
Someone-
good hugger.
You look like you have
Someone-
a smell.
Phil, someone actually said, if I can find it, someone said if I ever saw Phil in public, I would give him a hug.
And then groom me. We are the morning animals.
And then you'd realize this is a man who was thrown up in a stand-up urinal. What am I doing?
at a
It's
grocery
one
store.
time. It's
At
one
a grocery
time.
store.
And I was legitimately sick. It wasn't like a thing. Like I get off on that. I was sick.
Yeah, because there are so many people who get off on that.
Did you just say what I thought?
Evidently.
Big 12 Media Day sponsored by
Sure,
Grand
nothing but
Casino,
football today.
Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light.
This is
And apparently we're streaming all over the damn internet.
Yeah, we're all over the world right now doing this in front of everybody.
Pick your social media. We're streaming on it. We are the morning animals. This
oh,
is
hey,
98.
there's more BYU people just listening, staring.
Invite
at
them
us.
in. Invite them
No,
in.
I will not. Nope.
We are
Just ask all of them how many wives they have.
Stop. That's just,
Stop.
See,
You're making
yeah.
you're making Cisco uncomfortable. We are the morning animals. This is 98.1 FM WWLS, the sports animal.
Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. I'll take you dancing in a country. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
We are the Morning Animals in Zynga, Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch. It is Wednesday, July 12th. Going to be a hot one. We could be pushing 100 today. I don't want to hear any complaints.
So, all Kerry's mailman friends, keep your whining to yourself, is what Phil said. All the miles and miles you walk, Phil said, I don't want to hear it because I'll be at home in air conditioning. Or at Aldi in air conditioning, or a liquor store,
for the
or
air conditioning.
a pot shop in air conditioning.
By the way, Big 12 Media Days sponsored by Bud Light, Grand Casino, and Fire Lake Casino.
Yep, Mark Rogers, the man, is in the house. He has made it. And I've got a lovely copy of the Oklahoma Pigskin preview. Looks great. Hot off the presses. What's up, Mark?
What's up, Curtis? How you doing?
Good. You were here really early.
This isn't early, is it?
I mean, I figured most people in your time slot slept in, and I mean, you're a working man today.
Maybe so. I don't sleep very much.
You missed some explosive radio a second ago.
What was Phil doing?
He really didn't.
No, it wasn't me. It was Kerry. He's got a listener that came into Sooner Scoop and asked for a hug, and that's all he wanted. He did not want free merch. He did not want an autograph or a picture, just a hug.
A sweet embrace is all the man wanted.
And then
Amazon driver.
Phil took a turn with the discussion. So
I don't think I took a turn. I just played some romantic music underneath the story as he told it.
It is kind of romantic that somebody would come in and want to start the day off like that.
I think it's just a sweet gesture.
I thought it changed me, Mark, as a man, and Phil has turned it into something dirty.
I would think, Carrie, sometimes it seems like you could use a hug, and so it wouldn't be a bad deal at all. I kind of support that.
Mm-hmm. He's open to new things right now.
Beginning of the day.
That's a really nice way of telling me I'm a jerk, Mark. Thanks.
No, it was not.
Maybe he hasn't
I
changed.
feel the same. I could use a hug at the beginning.
No, I am a jerk, and I do need hugs. I've been a jerk to Mark before. I mean,
I don't think that's true. But whatever spat we've had was very minor. Very minor in nature.
Most people have had a rivalry with Kerry. I think
probably caused by me.
Yeah. Probably.
I think more people have had a rivalry with Jim. Maybe Curtis is the only person that has never had one.
Well,
which says a lot.
Everybody,
the company man of the year.
Everybody with a headset on right now has that I'm talking to. Yes,
right.
Every
single
one of us.
I got down here early yesterday, so I didn't have to deal with trying to save anyone's lives in an automobile accident.
That's right.
2 years ago.
Year,
yeah,
you were involved.
Scary.
You stabbed a woman.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's how the story. That's
a lot better than Kerry getting hugged.
That's how I remember
there
it.
There was
anyway.
a woman that got stabbed and almost bled to death.
I did
but
not stab anyone.
Mark was the hero in this story.
That's also not true, but that was a weird evening. I was kind of lost. I was trying to get to Arlington. I was trying to beat the traffic, but it didn't work out very well. And all of a sudden I look over and there's a car running into a light pole.
I was trying to tell the story earlier about last night. The All-Star game was on, and you were holding down the fort at Papa Do's and trying to get the game on, and the lady was confused. She thought a Ranger game was on and didn't realize the All-Star game was happening.
Papa Do's was so crowded on Tuesday night last night. Walked in and it was an hour wait.
And
I ain't waiting an hour for that.
No, Mark did though. I was impressed.
Well, somebody was buying. Somebody's buying.
I knew that Cisco and Lupton were coming over. It just was a matter of time. They had to come in and set up our fabulous booth here.
We got a killer setup too, by the way. We are right front and center. They've changed our location. We're right on the goal line. It's looking good. I've noticed a lot of BYU stuff around here, so I think they're going to bring a big contingent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are the beef jerky girls there yet, Mark? You talked about them quite a bit last year.
No, they're not right next to the booth, which is a good thing. So we don't have to be inundated with beef jerky trying to be given to us all the time. Are they way down there? I haven't walked across the other side of things. Okay,
by the
other end.
By the way, the segments with Cale Gundy sound awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, Cale will be here this morning around showtime, so we should have a lot of good stuff with him.
Any chance he could talk his brother into joining you tomorrow?
Today.
It's today.
Excuse me.
All right. I've inquired about that. Some people have set the odds at 80%. I set it at 20%.
All right.
Hey,
that's set it at 5.
Those odds are a lot higher than they used to be.
Yeah, they used to be at 0, but I think the Cale Gundy bump moves it to 20. That's impressive.
The Cale Gundy bump. I like that.
I will take my headphones off and they can be together. Surely that.
What are Mark? What are our odds today that Mike Gundy takes a shot at either OU or Texas?
Well, somebody will ask him the question. I don't know. I think probably likely. It's a lot easier for him to take shots at Texas. He got a winning record against them. He's not fared that well against OU.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. I think that's going to be one of the pervasive things here because when Brett Yormark goes up there at noon, I think one of the first things he's going to say is we're losing 2 important members of this conference, but yet each team's revenue is going to go up.
Yeah, listen, he's done a great job. For a guy that's come in with all this transition and turmoil.
Hey,
they're in a better position they were under the previous
guy. It was
guy.
a great hire. I mean, the past few conference commissioners, I think, have been really poor hires. Bob Bowlesby was the last of a dying breed, which is an academic guy that's running the conference, because you're not going to survive if you're not out there getting all the media right money you can or promoting the league. I mean, can you imagine Bob Bowlesby promoting the league? I mean, it put people to sleep.
He's such a dynamic personality.
Exactly.
But
You know what, Mark? My writer George Stoya, I'd said, hey, why don't you reach out to Bob Bowlesby and see if he has anything to say on the eve of OU and Texas getting ready to have their last Big 12. He didn't want anything to do with it. Still, he didn't want to comment.
Well, I mean, look how aggressive he's been in recruiting, potentially other teams to join the league. Trying to embrace basketball. I think what he's doing by moving some games to Mexico is also pretty interesting to try to get another market. I mean, a lot of schools.
I'm sorry, Mark. I was talking about Bob Bowlesby.
I know, but I was transitioning back to your Mark. I mean, I think that with Bowlesby, again, I think that he was kind of the old guard athletic director, he was kind of good.
He was an administrator.
Good in the meaning. Yeah, he's an administrator. That's right. I mean,
you're right.
Had a lot of enemies.
That used to be the deal. They would hire academic people and lifers in conferences. They'd grown up as assistant athletic directors and athletic directors. But yeah,
your Mark is running an entertainment company compared to Bowlesby, who
This is what it is.
basically just being a custodian.
I think this is the entertainment business. I'm pretty sure. That's absolutely true. But I'll tell you though, this will be a fun year because in the last 2 seasons, we haven't had Oklahoma or Texas in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah,
a lot of people are thinking that Texas is the favorite this year and that OU is going to be pretty good.
Well, and they've been really good games too.
Mm-hmm.
Both the last 2 years,
they have been
fantastic championship games. We're talking about.
They've been great. So the last year, I mean, it'd be a huge feather in the cap. Maybe you can ask this question, Curtis, to the commissioner, if he would like it if it was a third straight year without OU or Texas in the championship game.
Might have to find a creative way to ask that.
That is a great way to preface the question.
I'll let Curtis do it. I'll be on the air at the time. I'm not gonna do that.
I wish I was there. I would lead with that. Mark, the Pac-12 is probably going to be heading into their media days without any media rights and without any deals going on. So, I mean, what do you think is the reality of this time next year? I mean, more teams being here. Do you think it's 1 through 10, 10 being the biggest chance and 0 being the least? What do you think the odds are that there's going to be at least 2 more, possibly 4 more teams added to this conference next year?
That's a pretty good question. I think the Pac-12 would have a rights deal right now if it was any good. If it was going to be any good at all. So I think they're pushing it off. I think that's why you saw San Diego State kind of do this. I think what they really wanted to do was break away from having to pay their media rights. Now, the Pac-12 schools don't have to because they're not going to be under an agreement. So they could move theoretically immediately.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm just curious what's going to be.
That was a quick wrap, by the way.
That was a quick wrap.
What is the most awkward media day conference? It's got to be. It's probably the Pac-12, but the Big Ten's going to be awkward too.
The Pac-12, though, you have USC and UCLA out the door, kind of like what OU and Texas are doing,
and no money for
leaving
anybody
the
else.
league in a terrible position,
right? Whereas
compared
to
the Big 12,
right? Yeah, they have stability after OU and Texas. The Pac-12, you're losing 2 bell cows, and then you have no direction. So yeah, that's going to be, and that's in Vegas. So everything happens in Vegas, Phil.
We are the Morning Animals. This is 98.1 FM WWLS. We are live from Big 12 Media Days, sponsored by Bud Light, Grand Casino, and Fire Lake Casino on the Animal.
Let's brew some beer.
We grow the barley that makes your beer.
I grow the rice.
I grow the hops.
I make the steam. No steam, no beer.
We make the cans. I bottle the beer. I label the beer.
I pack the beer. I deliver the beer.
I drop off the beer.
I serve the beer.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. I'll take you dancing in a country. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch. Live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas. Brought to you by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light.
Thanks to all of our sponsors here at Jerry World, Big 12 Media Days. And before I get to this stuff that's really going to make Spinozzi happy, I know he was getting all excited about the topic I'm going to bring up here in a little bit. We are just discussing the video streaming we have going on. And Phil, you have us pulled up on YouTube or Facebook? Which one are you watching?
Actually, I've got you on YouTube on the big screen.
The quality's very good. You guys look great.
And I'm also on my computer in front of me. I've got you on Facebook. But we're streaming on all of the Sports Animal social media platforms, correct?
Twitter, the app. The app does a great job with this. But and a lot of people are commenting, hey, we need to be doing this more often on our show. And the boys from Austin that are standing right next to me said, you got to watch though when the most comments they get on their streaming, because I guess they stream their show every morning, is when you're eating on the air. So Phil, they gave us a very clear and concise tip. Do not eat barbecue when you're being streamed. And that is coming, by the way.
This is no offense to them, but screw that. I'll eat what I want.
Stay in your lane. Is that what you're
saying?
Yeah.
Secondly, it's not.
I mean, if you thought Joey Chestnut was gross, just wait until you see Phil.
I only have X amount of time between breaks to scarf something down.
Well, I don't think we'll
But
record the
it's not
break
like the
eating.
old days. It's not like people are bringing us food anymore.
Right. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, they used to happen all the time.
I'll tell you this: if we start streaming our show every morning, people will just to see what you would do with that food. They want to
like
see
feeding
man
zoo
versus
animals.
food
You're
live on
like-
the stream.
There's somebody throwing your peanuts in a cage.
Right.
You got the listeners. You're looking at this all wrong. That's a feature of our stream. I mean,
you know what?
A fill cam. I mean, for when the food comes in,
And we could have it sponsored. And what I'll do is I'll take my shirt off and eat for one segment.
we would break the internet. That would go viral.
Cisco,
nationally.
could we get a sponsor for that? You think? Yeah.
Like we could write the sponsor's name on my chest.
Right. Like green card girls.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and we know Phil is a whore. He has a price for everything.
Oh, I promise you stream our show. My T-shirt every day will be brought to you by somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I am available for NIL immediately.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Sooner
Just
scoop
sit-
written all over your chest, Phil. Would you do that?
Sure, if anybody who pays, and I won't like make a pig of myself. I'll just eat normally.
What's the place? The place that the Golden Palace or something like that was always on Boxer's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and ring card girls too, because they wear such little outfits. It really doesn't, they just write it right on their bodies.
Let's just see how it goes. Bring me food. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
I say we'll be up on a live stream for 3 days before they shut it down.
The first one has to be.
They'll think it's too pornographic.
I will write things. I'll draw things. It's a bad idea, company. Bad
The
idea.
first thing that you should eat should definitely be a rotisserie chicken.
All right.
Without utensils.
Okay.
Well, he's
Done.
Listen. That's nothing. Phil's done that in the car.
I do that in
driving
the
from
car.
the
Right,
store
on the way
to
home.
house.
The
But we've
two-finger
talked
dig.
about it for so long. We need to see that live.
You
what
got to
it
go
looks
in.
like.
You use the 2-finger scoop method.
I eat all the skin off before I finger in, Phil.
Oh, I go for it. I don't even care. Leave the skin on, leave the skin off. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I don't think we could bring up a topic that would make Spinozzi as excited as this. And those comments might prove me wrong that you just made, but Spinozzi, we have talked about a possible big blockbuster trade, right,
Mhm.
for your Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right. And listen, I really just have talked about it, and thought it would be interesting. But until Sam Presti went out and acquired 27 players over the last 10 days, I really was like, I don't know. I don't know about the reality of it. It would be a little bit of a reach, but Sam is up to something right now, which kind of lends some credence to what I've been thinking.
All right, so what we've been saying over the last couple of days, hey, it's the whole Windhorse thing. What's going on in Oklahoma City? You can't have 21 players under full contract when the season starts. You have to trim the roster down. You can't spend all those draft picks they have accumulated. What's the number, 35 over the next 7 years?
That's it. 15 number ones, I think.
15 number ones, 20 second rounders, which is insane. You
can't spend all those picks. You
do
just
all that,
can't.
right? And at some point here in the next 3-4 years, the roster is going to get really expensive really fast. So maybe you have to start consolidating not only the numbers, but also the money that you have on the books now and get someone else that's maybe on a shorter term deal. So,
yeah. And by the way, Sam Presti has put together some big salary contracts that are perfect for trading if you wanted to do something like that. Davis Bertans. He's got Victor Oladipo's contract right now. So he's got picks. He's got contracts. He's got everything you could possibly need to make something happen.
And we've thrown in, the idea, hey, you draft Cason Wallace, although last night was not a good night, but he's got that Lou Dort kind of prototype where you say long term, like he is the replacement and probably a better offensive prospect than Lou Dort was. Although Spinozzi and I were looking at Lou Dort's workouts yesterday. That dude, he is ready to destroy Cason Wallace when they get to practice.
He needs to leave the NBA behind, go play strong safety for the Raiders.
Oh my God,
he's a monster.
Yeah. The NBA doesn't like seeing him on the floor when
I'm
Damian
not setting
Lillard's
picks. I'm just not setting picks when I'm playing the Thunder. When because Lou Dort's going through you.
He is a machine, and he's owning the Dorcher Chamber moniker too. He's wearing shirts while he's working out, the Dorcher Chamber. So he is the guy every franchise wants. He's a culture guy. He's a grinder. You love Lou Dort.
Manageable contract.
But he's got a manageable contract. And, the NBA right now is kind of being held hostage with Damian Lillard. Well, once that domino falls, and we all think, hey, maybe the Thunder are involved in that deal somehow because you got to have multiple teams. The James Harden domino has got to fall. multiple things have to happen. Well, so Zach Lowe of ESPN, he has he does stuff on their NBA coverage, but also has a pretty popular podcast. And he was saying there's a third guy who's kind of out there because he's got on an expiring $35 million contract, but also is getting ready to get paid and could be moved. And this could change a lot of things in the NBA. And that's Pascal Siakam, the power forward, like prototypical power forward you would want, athletic, can score inside, can switchable, the whole thing.
Young.
But he's going to get paid when his contract is up. But the Raptors may not want to pay him. They may want to get a lot of assets and rebuild with the current guys they have drafted over the last couple of years, like Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick. They lost Fred VanVleet already, so maybe OG Anunoby is a young guy they have on their roster. And Zach Lowe threw out a very interesting team as a possible trade idea.
The most fun team, this is just too crazy, but it would kind of be fun if Oklahoma City was like Lugens Dort, Davis Bertans salary, a whole bunch of picks. We have so many picks we can't possibly use them. And let's see what we can do with this team.
Now, and that's a shorter part of the longer discussion, but it's saying it's not the craziest idea we've thrown out there because other people are kind of tossing that around too.
Yeah, it's not nuts.
I would say this. When the whole Robertson thing was going on and, the 3-and-D became a fascination with everyone in Oklahoma City, it was because all of the stars on that team didn't really play defense. Like KD, remember how offensive it was when KD went to Golden State and they're like, wow, now KD's playing on the defensive end too. Yeah. It's like, why didn't he do that in Oklahoma City? And Russell just was never going to be a defensive guy. Like, they had to make up for their lack of defense with I'm air quoting, a stopper. Robertson played a lot with no offensive abilities, and it's because they were so lacking in defense. I don't think that this organization lacks defensively like they once
Not
did.
at all,
like,
no.
They could survive without a Lou Dort.
No, Shea is a very, very good defender. Giddy's going to get there, but his height helps out.
Wrap it up.
Somebody at the rim. I mean, they got guys all over the place.
Chet Holmgren's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I think in the short time, listen, again, I've said this a million times every time we talk about trades. I am in no way trying to run Lou Dort off. I love Lou Dort. I love what he means to this team. I like what he brings to this team. But if you had an opportunity to bring Pascal Siakam and Chet Holmgren this season to a team that almost won, was almost 500 last year, what a jump, because they already have that talent on his team. And in a short time, Aaron Wiggins can serve that same role that Lou Dort's doing right now. He can do the same things, maybe not to the, elite level defensively, but he's rangy. He's really good offensively. He's not going to try to take 20 shots a game. So they're set up as much as anybody right now to add Pascal Siakam. Although next year you're going to have to pay him $50 million a year if you want to keep him.
Well, that's the thing.
That is the biggest consideration.
It is. And Mark and I were talking about it off the air. Like you could, because you have to think, all right, your roster currently is going to get really expensive pretty fast once you have to decide on Giddey. And then the next year you're going to pay Chet and J-Dub the same year because they were both drafts. That's like the downfall of drafting two stars in the same draft, is that then you're going to have to pay them when they come up. So that's going to happen. But if you get like Siakam, and again, we're just throwing stuff out here. If you get Siakam on like a 2-year deal where you're paying him $50 million a year or whatever it is with a third-year option or something like that, like you sign a guy thinking, oh, can I trade this contract? And like when they signed Lou Dort, people were complaining about the number. Well, that contract is very tradable. So the second you sign somebody, you have to say to yourself, can I eventually trade this contract? Lou Dort, you can trade the contract. And I would think you could trade Pascal Siakam.
Does Presti want to break up what he's built? That's the biggest question to me.
Sure. Now that's.
Yeah, Lou was one of the first pieces here.
Oh, yeah. No, and he's Shea's guy. That's his best friend on the team. Those things to consider.
There's a lot of things to consider, but Pascal Siakam is one of the 10 best players in the league.
He's a 6'9", prototypical. He's not one of the 10 players. He's not one of the 10 best players in the league. But at his position, we could argue that, but we don't have time.
He can do everything. He can do everything. He can take off the dribble. He can shoot over you. He can defend. He can rebound. He can do everything.
He's not one of the 10 best players, but at his position, he's the prototype. He's what you would want.
We are the Morning Animals. This is 98.1 FM WWLS, the Sports Animal, live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas, sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and our very good friends at Bud Light.
Summer Heat.
Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line. Friday, July 21st, Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Tyler Hubbard. Live. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Don't miss Tyler Hubbard live.
Let's brew some beer.
We grow the barley that makes your beer.
I grow the rice.
I grow the hops.
I make the steam. No steam, no beer.
We make the cans. I bottle the beer. I label the beer.
I pack the beer. I deliver the beer.
I drop off the beer.
I serve the beer.
Spinozzi, Curtis Fitzpatrick, and Kerry Murdoch. Live from Big 12 Media Days in Arlington, Texas. Sponsored by Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light. Streaming, by the way, on all of the Sports Animal social media.
Yep. YouTube, Facebook, the Sports Animal app, Twitter. We are streaming as long as we're here. Mark,
are we on Threads?
We're not on Threads yet. Yeah, apparently.
Threads doesn't have video yet. They're very basic.
Got it.
By the way, speaking of Twitter, I've finally been shut down completely by Twitter. I've expressed my thoughts so often to Elon Musk over the last 3 months that they finally found a way to make it so I can't look at anything.
I mean,
are you serious?
You've been you've been shut down. How do you get shut down more than being shut down?
Well, I just couldn't comment or like anything for the longest time, but I could look at everything. I could see the same things you could see, like what's trending and whatnot. And I could go and look at anybody else's Twitter page. But right now, they just like, no, you can't look at anything anymore. So I'm being super, super punished by Twitter now. But I'll be okay.
We need to find you. Can we create a fake account for you?
Why, guys, we were just talking about this off the air. Why doesn't somebody just go out, instead of trying to like encompass all things social media, just go out and create a sports Twitter network? I mean, where you can go just to talk sports. You don't have to worry about anybody come zooming in and wanting to talk politics or anything like that. I mean, wouldn't it be a lot easier as opposed to what, I mean, Zuckerberg's trying to do in creating this Threads thing? Just go find like an a la carte type of Twitter type of places.
I think
to
the
go.
problem is, and I know this with message boards, people can't help themselves and they're going to talk politics and they're going to start fighting with each other.
That's right.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, somehow.
No matter what.
Because a player might say something and it will just turn into a whole thing.
So, Kerry, are you having a monitor, even like it's like a recruiting story about, I don't know, just for example, the kid that's deciding between OU and USC, the running back, and then every now and then there'll be something stupid and political that pops up. Like, does that happen?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
They're from
or someone takes a shot at a president or a former president that has nothing to do with the discussion that derails the whole thing.
Or some players from a liberal state, so he's probably soft.
Oh, God. Speaking of the Twitter and all the OU and USC, Lincoln Riley is trending on my Twitter account. I guess he posted another food picture. No. I can't confirm his. Again, he's blocked me.
It was fish. Yeah, he cooked some fish.
Yeah,
it was rare. I think what the Pac-12 should do is take that sphere and pay him to put a picture up of Lincoln Riley's brisket while the Pac-12 media days are there.
So was it a joke picture or was
he
trying to be serious?
No, he's trying to find love again. He's back out there.
He made some seared tuna, and actually it looked good. You don't cook it all the way through. So at first, if you think it's like brisket, you'd be like, oh, my God, it's as rare as anything I've ever seen. No. This is tuna, man.
Okay.
It's hard to screw that up.
He doesn't care about you, Phil. You don't have to defend him.
Probably caught it out in back of his beautiful mansion on the sea.
That wraps it up for us. Day one for the morning animals, anyway.
Yeah, don't forget, Mark will be along with Cale Gundy. They will have all the coverage for you later on after Sports Morning. So beginning at 11 a.m., Mark will be here. And we'll
Mike Gundy.
Well, we're not promising anything. We're putting it at 20%.
I'm counting on it.
20%,
right.
Phil.
Thank you to our sponsors, Grand Casino, Fire Lake Casino, and Bud Light. That wraps it up for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, starting at 5 a.m., whether you like it or not. In the meantime, enjoy what's left of your life.